everyone! Remember this? This is the review for LEGO's X-Pod, the Blue Autopod. Set number 4347, originally released in 2004, it contains 39 pieces. The X-Pods were a branch off the designer line in 2004, where you would get a bunch of parts and instructions. But what made this line so special was that the instructions gave you a bunch of different models that you could build. As well, there was also a bunch of random pictures of random builds that you were not given any instructions for. All this was done in the hope that you would design whatever you wanted with the parts provided. The X-Pods themselves were more travel-oriented, as the pod itself was a container for you to bring the set anywhere you would go. So in this video, first we'll take a look at the models that are in the instructions, show how to build them, and so on. Then we'll go over the pod itself. Then we'll take a look through the instructions and see what they're hiding inside. Let's begin. Alright, so the first model we have out of the X-Pod set here is this little GoKart. And it looks very nice. It's a very simple little build. It's just a bunch of plates stacked on each other with this piece on top and a spoiler and a bunch of wheels. And yeah, it works perfectly well, and I think it's actually really nicely done. It's got some yellow studs up at the front to replicate headlights, and then some red studs in the back here, which are supposed to represent taillights, I guess. And it looks really good. And it rolls as it should. You know, it works pretty well. And then you also get an adjustable spoiler just because of the hinge. Now there's also this 2x2 stud section, which you can actually stick a minifigure on. Just take any minifigure and you can plop them right down there and you can have them drive the go-kart. So yeah, that looks pretty good. I like that. I like this little feature here. It makes it all the more fun. Though I do find, though, it works better with these little thingies. These are these molded driver seats. Used to come with a lot of the old Lego Racer sets. And if you just stick that on there and a minifig head, well, it looks even more convincing, just because everything's molded in there, sized appropriately. So yeah, that's the first little model, and it's a nice go-kart. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. And here is the second model that we get from the X-Pod set, and it is this little chibi cement truck. It's adorable. You got the windscreen, you got the front grille, yellow little headlights, got wheels, you got the mixing drum, which does rotate and it can hinge up and down because of the hinge, and then you get the little flasher on top. And it looks pretty cool. And of course, it rolls very nicely. So yeah, it's adorable. It's built out of a bunch of plates and some bricks. So yeah, it looks really good. I like it. It's adorable. So it's not my favorite, but it's still cute. So yeah, on to the last one. last model in the instructions is this thing. I don't know, it's a Robonoid robot thingy. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty simple. It utilizes the X-Pod, so good use of the container, and you can store all the extra pieces in there. I'm just gonna dump those out while I'm talking. And yeah, it's pretty simple. You got the head, you got tires as the eyes. That's pretty clever. You get a swivel because of the swivel piece, and you get that hinge as well. And then you also get adjustable ears, which is nice. So you can make them angry or going fast or something, or have them up and curious or something. I don't know. It's silly. You also have little red studs in there, so I guess you can make him eating something. I'm not entirely sure. And then at the bottom here you have the feet. It's pretty simple, just a bunch of plates. And yeah, so, and he stands perfectly fine. Like, you can push him over and he comes roly-poly. So yeah, it's funny. And yeah, so that's the third model. This thing is weird. So now we're gonna take a look at the pod. I'll just set all the pieces over there and take it away. Or something, I don't care. Okay, so here's the pod. It's a very simple design, just being like a round or more oval container. Very nice, very small. So on top you got the lid, which twists off and has a locking point here and here. And so when you twist it, it connects. Now it only connects one way, so if you twist it that way, it will not stay, which is pretty cool. The lid itself has 4 studs on top with an axle hole, and on the bottom it has a single anti-stud where the axle hole is. So it is compatible with other Lego. Set that there. Now the container itself is this transparent piece, which connects the lid on top and the bottom on the bottom. And it also has a bunch of studs here, as well as a pinhole in the center. So it is compatible with more Lego. So this is basically like a little building platform, which is really cool and really smart. So you can have pieces stick on like that. And the nice thing about the way it's designed, the connection for the bottom does not go above these studs. So you can have an expansive build on this tiny platform. So yeah, that is pretty cool. And then on the bottom, or for the bottom, we have 4 studs on the inside and an axle hole, and then on the bottom of the bottom we have 4 anti-studs and that same axle hole. And just like the lid, it attaches by twisting on, and it can't attach the other way. And everything is cross-compatible between the X-Pods, so you can connect the lid and the bottom to create this disc. I always used to imagine these are the great discs of Metro Dewey, so these are a lot of fun, as silly as they are. And yeah, so these are interesting pieces. And now another thing is the X-Pods themselves are fully cross-compatible. So if you have another X-Pod, like this green one here, you can take the bottom off and you can reconnect them like this. So you can have a whole stack of these and carry around all your X-Pods. This is genius. Why does Lego not do this anymore? Like, this is perfect. Take 2 little sets on a trip and voila. This is so much fun. I wish they would bring back ideas like this. And then when you're just having these things sit around, you can connect the lid and the bottom, and then you won't lose them. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant design. Why they don't do this anymore, I have no idea. Anyway, let's move on to the instructions. Alright, so here are the instructions. They're pretty worn and weathered. I was not gentle on these as a kid. So on the front you get the set number, age, what it is, and the 3 models you get in the instructions. And it follows the same designer kind of look to it. And adjust the lights. There we go. So On the first few pages, you get the instruction for the little go-kart there. And then to transition between the models, they actually have images of other ideas you can have. So you got this little snowplow and this little crane idea, and then the cement truck, of course. So yeah, it's a good idea. Shows the creative potential of all these models. So you get all the instructions for the cement mixer and those same two models that we saw before this way, and then you can see what they can do. And then you also get a new model here, which is nice. So lots of creative potential. And then on the next page you have the next model, and then you get this other idea of this rolling robot thing, which is pretty neat. I like it. And then, oh yeah, I was not gentle on these. So, and then at the back you get instructions for a combo model. Now, I'll go over this in a separate video after I've reviewed the yellow X-Pod eventually. So, yeah, and then it's pretty basic. You just combine the two. Lego was very fond of their combination models in the old days. And then you get some advertising for the other X-Pods at the time, as well as all the combo models. So, yeah, and then on the back you get promotional bits for all the designer sets at the time, which is pretty cool. I like that. So, yeah, instructions are small, cute, and adorable. So overall, the Autopod is a great little set. Not my personal favorite, but still great. It provides enough pieces that you can build a great little model. It's also completely self-contained, so taking this anywhere is not a hassle at all. And there you go. That is the blue Autopod. So now I ask you, do you remember this? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date with all my latest videos. And with that, I will see you all next time.